Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to our fellow friends, our beloved lecturer Dr. Asmida, and so on. Today, our group want to present about the value-based ethics. So, first of all, I want to introduce myself first. I am Amirul Imran bin Halib. Alright, so we're gonna start with the first presenter, which is Luqmanul Hakim.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Luqmanul Hakim bin Maskur, and our group has chosen the topic value-based ethic for our project. Value-based ethic can be described as an ethical assessment or as ethical value guide the way how business is done. For instance, what is acceptable for their decision through based on the situation, and it may lead to the desirable and responsible behavior on doing something above and beyond compliance with law and regulation. It also may be that the organization values are implicit rather than explicit. It is because value represent understanding of right and wrong or what should be by the individual.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur Syahira Atika binti Bhatia. Next, I would like to present about our incident. For our incident, we have chosen a news from the Star written by Rimanuddin on 26 September 2020. Our news is about chairman of cooperative sentenced to 8 years in jail and 2 strokes of caning for criminal breach of trust. In this case, the accused Alan Lim Boon Seong pleaded guilty for 2 counts of criminal breach of trust amounting to 300,000 ringgit last September after the charge were read in front of the judge Aizatul Akmal Maharani. Alan Lim, who held the position as cooperative chairman for 5 years, allegedly transferred 100,000 ringgit on 1st September and a balance of another 200,000 ringgit on 7 September to his personal account in one of the bank at Pekan Enas. In an appeal, he who is not represented by the lawyer has appealed for reduce the prison sentence for reason supporting of his wife and both of his parents. Source from the Berita Harian written by Omar Ahmad stating that the Deputy Public Prosecutor Chai In Hyun informed the accused was in the process of transferring another 300,000 ringgit to his account but did not succeed following the police arrested on 24 September 2020. Therefore, the prosecution asked the court to consider heavier punishment for his dishonest action. Session Court sentenced him to 4 years in jail and 1 stroke for both charges. The accused is charged in accordance with Section 409 of the Penal Code. Section 409 of Penal Code provided that any civil servant or agent entrusted with properties or with the control of properties and commit criminal breach of trust of the properties must be sentenced to a minimum of 2 years imprisonment and a maximum of 20 years in prison as well as stroke and liable to a fine. Section 409B Clause 1B also provided that any offence under Section 405, 406, 407, 408 and 409 should be considered to act dishonestly until proved.
Directors that involved in the issue are the chairman of Koperasi Padang Jaya Pekan Nanas, Alan Lim Boon Seong. He is the one who's been jailed for 8 years for committing a crime since he used the fund for his personal account. Meanwhile, the other actor is the Public Service Department PSD, which has a responsibility for each officer. As we know, the slogan of the PSD is an organization that leads reform and drives change. They will strengthen the governance of the organization and to maintain the responsibility of the officer. Essentially, therefore, PSD will cultivate the best and most qualified human resource to meet the strategic need of the public service through dynamic training policy and sponsorship programs.
Hi, my name is Nurujana binti Imana. Next, we will focus on the issues regarding of the incident. The first one is the failure of the leader to become a good example and role model to his subordinate under his supervision. So why a leader must lead by example? First of all, leader is a person who has responsibility towards the team members. Thus, through proper guidance, a leader can lead his team members to work ethically too. Okay, what's the implication of the incident? Directors or the chairman himself symbolize bad things to the society in the organization. As a leader, he should lead his subordinate with good example. According to Hasman 2007 and Sabita and Mahmud Nazar 2005, values have the strongest influence in the ethical decision and individual ethics. Thus, if the leader has good values, people will easily be influenced by his action and people will see the good in himself. For example, a leader who can portray integrity and honesty to his team members. Besides that, director's action also symbolizes bad thing to the public. His action has brought bad image to the government services and lead to breach of public trust towards the public officials. His misconduct action might affect public perception towards civil servants. People will only say that public officials have no integrity in accomplishing their work. Therefore, his action may reflect on inefficiency of the government services.
Alright, so for the next issues that we extract from the incidents is inability in exercising core values embedded by Jabatan Perkhidmatan Awam JPA, or known as the Public Service Department PSD, to reform the public administration. So from these issues, as we can see, alright, the actions from the actors, which is Mr. Alan Lim Boon Siang, is not in line, it's not synchronized, it's not simultaneously with the motto of JPA, which is to drive the public service transformations. Okay, it is because they are still have among the public official, public service, especially in the top management as the leader, okay, are doing or commit the maladministration such as bribery, corruptions, and misuse their positions, such as in the incident which is Mr. Elden transform the several amount of money from the organization to their personal account. This is the serious issues that we must curb from time to time from the public administration, because the public administration reflect on all the public administration wholly. So if the PSD or JPA cannot control this kind of issues from time to time, it may lead to further maladministration they are doing from the top management until their supervision. So what can JPA can do? They must reinforce more and more the penal code that they are introduced to the public administration, and they must create it from time to time the atmosphere, the good, the positive atmosphere, and with the good values, with the good core values among the public administration in the organizations, so that the transformation can be done easily.
To conclude the whole story, let's question ourselves on why humans should have good values. Values will guide us on deciding which one is right and which one is wrong. Values will influence the decision that we make, either it will be beneficial for us and other people. Therefore, values are emphasized in work education and personality as public servants. With good values, the person can influence his colleagues by good example. According to Lewis and Gilman 2012, values are important in public service as become a yardstick to ethical behavior. By nurturing good values, it will tackle unethical behavior and misuse of position in public service. In result, the number of corruption crime in Malaysia will be decreasing year by year.